Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk live on a Friday night right here on YouTube.com and StreamYard. It is Google MF Michael Fletcher with Anthony Floyo and Michael Bullock. And guys, tonight we got a very loaded show. Smackdown live from Manchester, England. And then, of course, we also have our preview of AEW going down tomorrow night, full force. It's going down tomorrow, so we're going to have an official preview for tonight's show, and we're just going to dive right in. So we started it off with a promo segment by Baron Corbin, and needless to say, not good. I mean, all right, I get it. You're trying to give him the negative heat. You're trying to get him to be whatever. And, Corbin tried to poke fun at Roman Reigns for he granted a Starlight Wish, which is supposed to be something a la the Make-A-Wish Foundation in the United States. Starlight Wish is something for a child in the UK that's suffering from a terrible disease, cancer, whatever the case may be. So Roman Reigns on making some kid's child's day, and Baron Corbin kind of ripped on that and everything else, tried to get the negative heat on him from the UK fans. Corbin is a good heel. Don't get me wrong. I like him as a heel. I think he's a really good heel. The promo work's gotta be done big time. Major overhaul. He's not really good as a wrestler. Horrible on promos. He does generate negative heat, which is good, but not a good way to start the show tonight. I mean, that was pretty bad. Almost borderline on boring in my mind. So, nothing more to say. Anthony Floyo, come on in. Give me your thoughts. Yeah. I gave you my 2 cents.
MF, with all due respect, myself and Michael Bullock, we had our Smackdown chat this evening, and we agreed that if you made us get into this, we were going to revolt and say no comment. So, no comment. Get the hell out of here with that nonsense.
All right. Fair enough.
No comment. No comment. Get the you-know-what out with that nonsense.
All right.
Boring.
Fair enough. Just wanted to make sure, because you guys have the right to drop the hammer on it. Just let me know. Just give me a heads up next time before anything else. All right, so we're not going to drop the hammer on this one. As a matter of fact, this had major ramifications and a major switch. So, the match we had was The Revival, Scott Dawson and Dash Wilder, going up against Big E and Kofi for the SmackDown Tag Team Championship. And when it was all said and done, the winners of the bout in 8 minutes and 30 seconds and new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. They've done it for the 7th time. They are once again the WWE SmackDown World Tag Team Champions! The New Day!
New Day rocks.
Day rocks.
New Day
rocks.
New Day rocks. Hit it, Bullock.
That was for you, Xavier Woods.
New Tag Team Champions, Revival out, New Day in. They're going to be representing SmackDown in the Survivor Series for the Battle of the Tag Team Champions. I got to say it. Undisputed Era and Viking Raiders, watch out, boys, because now the class of the tag team division just stepped up, and a major shot in the arm to SmackDown Live. I was a little worried about Revival in this match, but now having the New Day in, I smell victory for Team Blue at Survivor Series. I'm calling it right now. I think SmackDown wins this battle. I'm really pumped up. Love this situation. Anthony Florio. History was made in Manchester, England for the fourth time in about 2 years. A title has changed hands in jolly old England. Good day, mate.
Yes, it's becoming the international hotspot for title switches. But it's 2.5 to 3 stars. MF, did you give your rating on that? I don't think you did.
No, besides, you got to lead off anyway.
Oh yeah, that's true. 2.5 to 3 stars for this. Decent match, but on the lower end of their bouts these two teams have had over the course of the last year. The commercial break early in the bout did not help. I understand wanting to give the Manchester crowd a title change to bring some importance to these international shows. But, there are some that don't like the move, but I agree with MF. But they do play hot potato with the SmackDown tag titles far too much, as evidenced by the sheer number of runs the New Day have had. Not to mention, while I'm sure Kofi and Big E's inclusion in the Survivor Series match will be plenty entertaining, I mean, a big what if. What if they had kept the Revival in it? Would that have fit the bill better? I don't know. But with the New Day in there, I mean, it definitely gives SmackDown a much better chance. I mean, I think the Revival would have been the long shot in that triple threat match. This is out of all the matches, this is the toughest one to call here because any one of these teams can win. I got the power, I got the muscle. I have the muscle team with the Viking Raiders, Eric and Ivar representing Monday Night Raw. MF now has the New Day, Kofi and Big E with the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. Definitely gives SmackDown a much better chance to come out of that one. Whereas Michael Bullock has maybe the most gifted and the best pure natural tag team in the business today when it comes to WWE, NXT, and what have you. Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish of the Undisputed Era. Any one of these teams can win. And I understand MF, firing the shot with SmackDown. I get it because he's the SmackDown guy. He bleeds Team Blue. He'll bleed that blue, till the day he dies, and I get it. But I could easily do the same thing. I could easily do the same thing and say, hey, what about the Viking Raiders? What about Eric and Ivar? We got the power. We got the power of the group right here. So
wrong. Undisputed Era all the way.
Well, then I'm going to say the Viking Raiders go all the way. How do you like that? So give me Eric and Ivar in that match. But we got a couple of weeks. We got a couple of weeks to think about this. So.
And not only that, but titles could change hands. I mean, this might not be a done deal, guys. Remember,
that's right.
What if Undisputed Era loses the belts to somebody else? What if Eric and Ivar drops the belts to somebody else? What if New Day loses the gold going into Survivor Series? So anything can happen, guys. This is not set in stone yet. So let's pump the brakes before we find out officially who's got what going into Survivor Series.
You hear that, Bullock? That means you too. So let's not go jumping the gun yet. So, and like MF said, we still have a couple more weeks of TVs to build here, including Monday Night Raw from the O2 that was taped earlier today. You'll see that on Monday night, and then next Friday night when SmackDown goes to the Philadelphia, and then Raw's go home show will be in Boston, TD Garden. Hello, and then from there SmackDown will be closing out at the location of the Survivor Series itself, Chicago, the first of the 4 nights. So, we'll wait and see. But for right now, 2.5 to 3 for the match. It was a decent fight, and congrats on the New Day making history, 7-time champions, and that was for Xavier, and I'm sure that made Xavier feel a lot better. Poor guy. I mean, Achilles tear, 6 to 12 months.
Yep.
So we may not see him for a year, and barring the intense rehab, barring a miracle comeback like Edge or John Cena or what have you, we may not see Xavier Woods at WrestleMania 36.
Yeah. But the thing is, Achilles injuries are a lot worse than any other injury.
Oh, yeah.
They're the most toughest to come back on. So
Pray
I
for him.
hate to say
Even
this.
even tougher than a torn ACL.
Yeah.
Really?
An Achilles injury is worse than an ACL tear.
Oh,
So
okay.
I hate to say this, but yes, they're saying 6 to 12, but honestly, Anthony, I'm thinking more on the latter. I'm thinking closer to that 12-month range. So he's gonna be out a while.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was a complete Achilles tear, he's gone for a year. If it was a partial tear, maybe 6 months. But the way they're describing it, 9 to 12 at least, minimum 9 to 12.
Yeah. So we'll keep Xavier in our prayers for sure. Definitely thinking of him at this time. So we'll see what happens with that. But Kofi and Big E, they're a proven team, and how great is it to see Kofi with a title again?
Yes,
especially after that demoralizing loss where they literally fed him and got buried by the Beast for the WWE Championship last month on the premiere. So great to see Kofi with a belt again, even though it's not the belt we would have liked, but it is what it is. So good for him, good for Big E, and MF. You said it, with them being in this match instead of the Revival, and considering how criminally underutilized the Revival have been on both Raw and SmackDown. I think the New Day gives. I think the New Day is your best chance for a win in this match. If you're gonna have one team represent your show, MF, this is the team I would like to have. In all honesty, you got the perfect team right here. They're proven winners. We know what they're capable of when it comes to the battles for brand supremacy. Even though they went down to the Shield a couple years ago, they still gave them a hell of a fight. So we'll see what happens. Of course, I'm going to go with the Viking Raiders, obviously. And, of course, Bullock's going to go with Fish and O'Reilly. So, we'll wait and see. So, enough of that. We got plenty more to come here. So, 2.5 to 3. Congrats to the New Day. Nothing more to say. Bullock, I think both of our respective teams might have to start worrying a bit because the New Day gives SmackDown their best chance of a win here.
And I'll be quite honest. I mean, it definitely makes it. It definitely makes it much more entertaining because, I mean, who knows what you would have gotten from the Revival if they were still in this? But 2.5 to 3 stars is my rating for the match. Yeah, I mean, it was solid. I mean, but I mean, I wish they could have done a little more when it comes to this, but yeah, I mean, congratulations to the New Day, but you know what? To me, no matter what, New Day or the Viking Raiders, it's going to be an undisputed era at Survivor Series when Fish and O'Reilly take down to me, in my honest opinion, the two minor league shows, Raw and SmackDown, because NXT is the major leagues as far as I'm concerned.
I would be surprised if NXT even wins a match at Survivor Series. Honestly, I'm not trying to be the asshole of the group, but I'm just saying it right now. I would be surprised if they actually win a match at Survivor Series, because with the Battle of the Women between Becky Lynch, Bayley, and Shayna Baszler, okay, you got Shayna, but I'm going to honestly think about this. Bayley could sneak through the back door and win it, but Becky's probably the odds-on favorite to win it for Raw. That's on that fight. With the battle for the tag team titles, I'm going to be openly honest with you on this one, too. As much as I know, Anthony, you're going to talk about Viking Raiders, and yes, Bullock, you're going to be talking about the Undisputed Era. They've never been in a bigger event than Survivor Series. Neither team knows what it's about. New Day is customary to this battle. They've been to the war. They know about the fight for brand supremacy. That's why I think New Day's going to win. They got the upper hand on this battle more than any other team. Plus, with the experience of Big E and with the pedigree of WWE champion Kofi Kingston, former WWE champion, and the big fights he went through this past year, guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say SmackDown's going to get a win there. Raw will probably win the women's match. I hate to say it, that all this barking, all this jumping, and all this attacking that NXT's doing won't mean squat when it comes to Survivor Series. Just my thoughts. Speaking of attacks and all that stuff, Heavy Machinery was about to have a match, a tag team. You know, they were ready to battle it out. And then out of nowhere, Imperium showed up. Wait a minute, what? Imperium? What the hell are they doing here? Walter, Alexander Wolf, Fabian and Archer, and Marcel Bartel, they attack them. They attack Heavy Machinery. You're like, wait a minute, what's the meaning of this? Next thing you know, the New Day comes out. Chad Gable comes out. Ali comes out. Imperium runs. So you're like, okay, wait a minute. Are we going to get another NXT attack this time around? Instead, now the UK's going to jump us? Oh, hell no, that ain't happening on our watch. So next thing we have was a tag team match. It was Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro. They went up against Ali and Chad Gable, but when it was all said and done, winners of the bout in 4 minutes and 10 seconds, Nakamura and Cesaro with the victory. Kinshasa to Ali. Michael Bullock, it's all yours.
I can only give it 1 star for the effort. I mean, the thing is, once again, Sami Zayn, Lane Duckman, had to stick his nose where it didn't belong, and basically took away from it. So to me, I could really care less about this match, but I'm only going to give it 1 star for the effort. I mean, I could have given this a dud, but 1 star for the effort. That's it. Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, 1 star. No doubt about it. I definitely agree with that. But remember, it was actually Ali that ate the pin, not Chad Gable. So, I mean, yeah, I get it. They're trying to promote a little bit of the storyline here. Like you said, Lame Duckman got involved in the fight and everything else, and that's fine. That gives a big win for Nakamura and a huge win for Cesaro. Cesaro's been desperate for a victory lately. He finally gets it on this night in his own backyard. He is the Swiss Superman from Switzerland. You're not far from England, about maybe a few hours away in flight. So nice win for him. Nice win for Nakamura, getting back on his winning track. But it looks like he's got a certain someone, a certain savior of the universe. Yes. Maybe Daniel Bryan's got his eye on that Intercontinental Heavyweight title. That could be a game changer. So, Anthony Florio, 1 star for me. What says you?
Totally disagree with the rating. I thought the match was a fun and chaotic match. It was more 2.5 for me.
Okay.
Now here's the thing on that. What did I have here? Yeah, chaotic but fun match. It's hard taking Chad Gable seriously, now that he has fully embraced the Shorty GE character. Okay, and he really stands out in matches like this where the rest of the wrestlers have relatively grounded and serious gimmicks. It's a shame. I do like the pairing of Cesaro with Nakamura, and as expected, Zayn managing Cesaro seems to be off to a great start. Now, as far as that little scenario there, MF, I've been hearing some rumblings about that too.
Mm.
Could it be next week in the Philadelphia? Or could they even save it for the go-home show in Chicago? Oh, you put that in Chicago. Whoa, IWC territory. Look out. Root comes off it if you put Daniel Bryan and Shinsuke Nakamura for the Intercontinental Heavyweight Championship.
I say do it in Chicago.
Yes.
I say do it in Chicago.
Don't forget Philly. Philly's IWC too.
Yeah, that's true.
Either one's fine. But then again, SmackDown over the last couple of years has made a habit of doing a big title switch on the final show, on the go-home show for Survivor Series. The last couple of years, we've seen it.
Yeah, actually, if you remember last year, the actually twice, the WWE Championship changed hands.
2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, AJ Styles took it off of Jinder Mahal mercifully. And he ended up going up against Brock Lesnar, and look how that thing turned out. Whoa. And then last year, Daniel Bryan with the heel turn on AJ Styles in St. Louis, and look what happened with him. And we got him and Lesnar, and look what happened there. That ended up being amazing.
Yeah.
So if Daniel Bryan becomes the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion either next week or the week after, and he goes into that Survivor Series match, think about this, guys: AJ Styles, Daniel Bryan, Roderick Strong.
Oh man!
MF, you being the indie nerd, you know all about this.
This would be, dude, I'm telling you right now, this would be WWE Fight of the Year.
Amen.
This would be the WWE Fight of the Year, and plus, all the marks would absolutely just crap themselves on this one. I mean, just the mere fact of Roderick Strong, AJ Styles, and Daniel Bryan all in the same ring in a triple threat match for brand supremacy. I mean, that would be, it would rival, and I'm going to say this, it would rival the Unbreakable Three-Way, Daniels, AJ, and Joe.
Oh.
I mean, we know how great that fight was. We ranked it as a 5-star classic and TNA's Fight of the Year.
And greatest match in company history.
This would be, and I'm going to say this, this would probably be up there with Michaels, Triple H, and Benoit from WrestleMania 20.
Wow.
Like, it would be that type of a match.
Whew.
It would be that type of a match. There would be nothing more to add. Like, you could just shut up and take my money right then and there, WWE, if that is your match. Even though Nakamura versus AJ versus Roderick is a great match, but you insert Daniel Bryan in that fight, that's a game changer.
And him and AJ, I mean, we would rekindle the AJ and Bryan feud, only with the roles reversed this time.
Yeah.
With Bryan as the babyface and AJ as the heel.
But not only that, but AJ Styles versus Roderick Strong, AJ Styles versus Daniel Bryan. These are dream moments that we would get right before our very eyes. Like, nobody has ever seen these guys. Nobody has seen Roderick Strong fight Daniel Bryan. Nobody's ever seen Roderick Strong versus AJ Styles. Even in New Japan, in RWA, it's never happened. This would be first time evers if this happens. That's how big this fight is.
So we got to make that happen. We got to strap Bryan, and we got to strap him either next week in Philly or the week after in Chicago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If that happens, hey, I throw your chips up, throw your chips in the center, boys, because somebody's gonna go all in, and somebody's gonna get paid with that victory.
Oh yeah, and all three of us would go all in. I mean, you would go all in on Daniel Bryan, MF. I would go all in on the Phenomenal One, and Bullock would go all in on Roddy. So
yep.
We'll have to wait and see. I mean, it has to be either next week in the Philadelphia. But if I know WWE and we all know how notorious they've been the last 2 years of having big title changes literally right before Survivor Series. you got to do that in Chicago. What a way to kick off that four night heavenly weekend, as I call it. I mean, think about that. So
yeah,
that's all there is to say on this. I mean, I don't know what else there is to say. I mean, MF just went hype man on all of us, so as only he could. So well done. So, 2 to 2.5 for the match, but
okay.
Styles, Bryan, and Strong. If that happens, show stealer. Enough said. Let's move on, MF.
All right, and now we're gonna go into the next fight of the night, which was Sasha Banks versus Nikki Cross. And one major note, apparently there's a Survivor Series women's match, 5-on-5-on-5, 3-way. So one from it's going to be 5 women from Raw, 5 women from SmackDown, 5 women from NXT, and I can pleased to announce the captain for Team SmackDown is the boss, Sasha Banks. It will indeed be boss time at the Survivor Series, and she went up against Nikki Cross and defeated Nikki Cross in 9 minutes and 40 seconds. Then Bayley decided, I want to get a little piece of Nikki after what happened last week. Guess what? NXT reared its ugly head again. Shayna Baszler comes out and jumps Bayley again. Second week in a row, Bayley gets jumped by the NXT Women's Champion. Out comes Sasha to try to make the save, but already the damage was done. She got, poor Bayley got laid out again. So, all right. Good match, solid fight, entertaining matchup, no doubt about it. I could give this about 2.5 stars. I mean, it was good for what it was worth. 9:40, almost 10 minutes. Not bad, guys. I mean, not bad for a women's match. So I'll give this about 2.5 stars. Florio, I give it to you.
Yeah, about 2.5 is about the right rating here. Not a bad match. I mean, Sasha seemed like she may have been a little rusty. Remember, this is her first match since that Hell in a Cell match against Becky Lynch. So last month. So think about that. Or perhaps maybe her and Nikki don't have great chemistry. Still, though, it was solid enough for TV. Sasha needed the win here, though I'm not sure it's wise to have Nikki Cross keep coming up short in these valiantly fought matches. It's defining her down pretty quickly, but perhaps they feel like it won't matter once Alexa Bliss returns to the fold. Bayley was mostly effective on commentary, and Shayna Baszler's post-match attack was met with a strong reaction from the crowd. And let me tell you something, and I know this is going to encourage Bullock very much. Shayna Baszler is coming off like a big star. That's all there is to say on that. When it comes to that women's match, MF is absolutely right. In terms of, of drawing power and overness, the man is the favorite. No question about that. And that encourages me, being the Raw guy. Discouraging for MF because, as everybody all knows, almost all of us and our mothers are feeling that Bayley is the quintessential underdog in this matchup. Even with her incredible new heel gimmick, which I am loving. But what Michael Bullock has, pound for pound, the most intimidating, the most physically intense, smashed mouth women's wrestler in the business today, in the Submission Magician, Shayna Baszler. So that one could go either way. Don't dismiss Bayley. MF said it. Bayley could end up stealing it. You never know.
That would be a major upset if Bayley wins. Right now, I think, and I'm going to be openly honest, I think, remember that poll for WrestleMania 24 where literally it was split, where basically Triple H and Cena split the vote, and then you had Randy Orton at like that 8%? This is similar to that. Shayna Baszler and Becky Lynch are going to split the vote, and Bailey's going to be literally down at that bottom where nobody expects her to win. Could we have a WrestleMania 24 again? I'm hoping for it. I would gladly take a major upset win like that.
And let me just address something here, friends. When it comes to that 8%, MF was one of that 8%.
Yes, I was.
Randy Orton. He was the only one who had the cojones to go with Randy Orton, whereas I was leaning more towards Hunter in that match, but that's a story for another day. But for right now, as far as this is concerned, I can sum it up. Now, I'm not as good of a hype man as MF is, but I'll say it like this, as the professor of this show. Becky Lynch is the box office draw. Simple enough. Shayna Baszler is the blacktop bully. And Bayley, although she is that nasty heel now, she's still the quintessential underdog in my book. So that's how you sum it up. Underdog versus bully versus box office draw. So that's all there is to say on that. So 2.5 to 3 for the match. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, let's get your thoughts. I'm going to step away for just a moment, so I'll be back in a moment.
All right. Bullock?
Yeah. I'll give it about 2.5 stars for the match. I mean, Sasha did look a little rusty when it comes to this. I mean, but like you said, this was her first match back from that since the Hell in a Cell, and basically, I mean, they did have some chemistry in the match. Not really anything overly spectacular when it comes to this, and obviously Sasha winning will obviously thanks to some help during the match from Bayley, and then once again NXT reigns supreme at the end of the match. Shayna Baszler taking down Bayley. Yeah, couldn't have happened to a much nicer woman. As far as I'm concerned, Bayley got exactly what she deserved, especially with the way she's been lately. And here's the thing, Fletch. I mean, during the match, I mean, once again, Bayley was all over Corey Graves. I'm like, wait a minute. I mean, she's a heel, but yet she still is going back and forth with Corey Graves. I mean, what's going on with that? I mean, can you offer up an explanation, Fletch, for this? I mean, and you would think maybe Corey Graves was signed with Bayley, but it looks like Bayley doesn't want any of that you know what with Corey Graves, especially after the way he's been talking trash about her.
I guess. I mean, it's very interesting. No doubt about it. At least in my mind, it's one of the more peculiar situations that we have on the show. But I think that's also another way to get Bayley over as a heel by sticking up for herself. You never know.
Yeah, I mean that's just the only puzzling thing about with her as a heel, because you would think, Fletch, that she would finally at least side with Corey Graves, but no, she's still talking trash with him, and maybe it's like what you just said. Maybe she is just standing up for herself and for her bestie Sasha Banks, because I mean, let's let the people know Corey Graves, let's just say, is not a big fan of these two.
No
doubt
not at all.
Yeah, so this is basically Bayley defending Sasha, and I'm pretty sure Sasha would do the same for Bayley. So yeah, there's really nothing more for me to say. 2.5 stars. So Fletch, I say we move on. Let's just move on with this Friday night Cerebral Smack Talk.
All right, and we do move on to the next part, and it was Tyson Fury cutting a promo, asking for, getting Braun Strowman to show up. And, he's like, you wanted me here. You wanted me. Here I am. And Tyson Fury did one of the nicest things that I think a lot of people was surprised. He thanked them for the opportunity for that fight at Crown Jewel. Said it was one of the toughest fights he's ever had. Offered a handshake. Strowman accepted, and he said if they ever fight again, that it should be for a tag team. All right, not too bad. Strowman says that he liked the sound of the idea, but there aren't two guys backstage that would be dumb enough to fight them unless they were on all fours with those hands. And stupidly enough, the B team showed up, and I guess they wanted to pick a fight. Oops, wrong, big mistake. And yeah, as you expected, not only did Tyson Fury beat up on Bo Dallas, but yeah, Curtis Axel, he got those hands. So, nothing more to say. We're just going to move right along. Next up we had was the match. Now, this was to determine 2 spots for Team Smackdown at the Survivor Series. Carmella and Dana Brooke versus Fire and Desire. And when it was all said and done, the winners of the bout in 3 minutes and 50 seconds, in what I'm going to classify as a major upset, Carmella and Dana Brooke are going to Chicago. They're going to be teaming with Sasha Banks. That's 3 of the 5 spots for Team SmackDown. Whoa! Whoever saw this coming? Flory, are you back?
Yes, I am, MF.
All right. Do you want to give a quick thought? Carmella and Dana Brooke are going to be representing Team SmackDown.
Yeah. Not much to this one, though I am slightly surprised that the babyface is going over. Dana Brooke's athleticism is impressive, but it doesn't always translate to the confines of a wrestling match. At the very least, I am intrigued to see how Dana Brooke and Carmella interact with Sasha Banks going forward. I mean, what they've been doing with these traditional Survivor Series matches over the years, either with Raw versus SmackDown, the whole brand supremacy thing, and now with NXT. MF, is it? I mean, this goes all the way back to one of our favorite Survivor Series events, the 1995 Survivor Series. Remember that infamous wild card match?
The wild card match, yes.
Doesn't it have the feel of that?
It does.
Strange bedfellows. I mean,
oh yeah,
faces and heels on the same team. There could be some intertwining feuds there, big egos, big personalities. I mean, but they got to put all that aside for the good of their brand. So, and we all know, I mean, Dana and Carmella, I mean, they're going to be team players, but Sasha, I mean, with that massive ego, oh boy, that's going to make for some very strange bedfellows as far as the SmackDown women's team goes. I'll be very interested to see who Raw and NXT are going to counter with. But I'm very excited for the match. It's going to be hella fun. So that's all I can say on it. I could probably give this about maybe 1.5 to 2 for the effort. So that's really all I can say on that. But Sasha speaks for her resume, speaks for itself. I mean, I love that for SmackDown. You couldn't have picked a better captain if it wasn't going to be Bayley because he's the champion. So, Carmella, former champion in her own right. I mean, she's solid, but not overly spectacular. She's had a couple of great matches here and there. Not too many, though. Dana Brooke, though, she's more of that enhancement talent, more of someone we would see on like a main event or something. But you never know. Maybe they're finally taking her seriously. So I'm glad she's getting an opportunity at least. So that's good. So can't wait to see how the teams round out. So nothing more to say. Bullock, Sasha, we got the boss, the Princess of Staten Island, and Dana Brooke so far for Team SmackDown. Just can't wait to see how Raw and NXT will counteract it. So, Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see with that. I'll give it 1 star for the effort here. Nothing really good to write home about, but yeah, I mean, Carmella and Dana Brooke. I mean, yeah, that was a surprising victory there. I mean, yeah, and as far as the team for SmackDown, I mean, Dana Brooke and Carmella are gonna be all about that fighting for Team SmackDown. But with Sasha Banks as the captain of the team, with her massive ego, who knows if she's gonna fight for that brand supremacy. With that massive ego, I think she'll only be fighting for herself. Fletch, it's yours.
All right, guys. So we're just going to move right along. Main event of the evening, King Corbin versus Roman Reigns. And King Corbin steals the match. Well, the reason why I'm saying he stole the match was because Corbin had him help. A lot of help. Bobby Roode and Dolph Ziggler both were out at ringside. They get involved, and it helps Corbin get the end of days and wins the match at 11 minutes and 35 seconds. Oh boy, I sense some ranting coming right about now. And I believe, well, Anthony, you've been gone for a little bit, so I'm going to let you lead off on this. But, oh my goodness, want to talk about an upset to close SmackDown Live. Roman Reigns, the big dog, goes down. Bow to the king tonight.
In the immortal words of Gorilla Monsoon, a miscarriage of justice.
Agreed.
As far as I'm concerned. Yeah, this was not good. This was not good at all. This was the worst fight of the night, and I'm sorry, I got to do it. I got to call dud. This was terrible. This was not pretty, folks. Eek. Hoofa. Roman Reigns and King Corbin have never shown much chemistry with one another, and this was no exception. Now are you wondering why we were dreading this match and why we were so thankful about what happened last week? So it was mostly stalling and brawling. Ziggler and Roode's interference seemed out of left field, and even Michael Cole couldn't really account for it. Corbin is not a guy I would be investing in to the point of beating Roman Reigns in a one-on-one match on television. But more than anything, it's an indication of how thin the rosters are on both brands. So, yeah, this was awful. This was a dud. This was ghastly. That's all I can say. It was ghastly, like Simon Cowell would say. Ties into the England thing perfectly. So that's all I can say on that. Nothing else. Absolute dud. Get the you-know-what out of here with this ridiculousness. So, Bullock, I mean, this was such a dud. We were damn near snoozing during this match. Yawn.
Yawn indeed. Dud. I mean, seriously. I mean, what the hell is this? Really? I mean, I was so glad they postponed the match last week because of the situation with Saudi Arabia. But we get this week, and this is what we got. No. Get the you-know-what out with that nonsense. I mean, you start off Friday Night SmackDown with a whimper with Baron Corbin, and now you end it with a whimper and Baron Corbin getting the victory. This is why WWE is in such bad shape that they are right now. This is the prime example of it. And it's definitely going to affect it in my ratings for the show. And to be quite honest, it's going to be a bad rating. I just don't understand this. I really don't. Nobody wants to see Baron Corbin win or even cut a promo. Nobody wants to. Does anybody give a damn about him? I certainly don't. Fletch, do you give a damn about it?
Not really.
And obviously, I know what the answer for you, Florio, is, but but for the viewers out there, let's just hear your opinion on all that. Do we care?
Oh, hell no.
Amen to that. Fletch, please, let's just move on before my head really explodes.
All right, overall review time. I guess I'll lead it off. Other than the beginning and the end, which was, like you guys said, really bad, it was a decent show. Nice that we got a title change here tonight with the New Day winning the belts. And we did get some storyline progression. There was some NXT involvement. Imperium out of nowhere. Then we also had Shayna Baszler there. So I mean, you keep the storylines going for Survivor Series, no doubt. But overall, 5 out of 10. I got to go 50-50 show on this one. That's just my honest opinion. Anthony, I give it to you.
Oh my goodness, what a difference a week makes. I mean, last week we had the far and away the best Friday Night SmackDown, not just of the Fox era, but it was the best SmackDown show of 2019 combined from all the Tuesdays on USA and everything. That show, that was a bang, that show. But a week later, we go from an epic show to, I hate to say it, a back to reality edition. And that's exactly what this was. International TV tapings have a propensity for being by the numbers, maintenance shows, and this ranks barely above that threshold. The tag team title change, as well as a possible start of a possible Daniel Bryan and Fiend feud, saved this from being an entirely forgettable episode of SmackDown. This was a massive step down from last week's show and an indicator of the company's lack of urgency heading into what if they keep this up, it could end up becoming a senseless pay-per-view. So just gotta, be the man who tells it like it is. But I'll go with MF's rating. I'll go with the 5 out of 10. We did have about 2, maybe 3 solid matches, some newsworthy moments, but other than that, back to reality. That's all there is to say on that. And nobody epitomizes the word reality more than King Corbin. I mean, King Corbin is that hard, cold punch in the mouth called reality. So that's all there is to say on that. So a bang last week. 1 week later, we got a whimper. So what a damn shame, too, after that incredible show a week ago that had us all talking. This week, what's there to talk about? Nothing, really. Sorry. 5 out of 10 for me, Bullock. Wrap it up, and then we'll get into our AEW preview.
I'm sorry. I'm going lower than that. I'm giving this a 4 out of 10. I mean, to me, there was more negative than positive when it comes to this, so I'm not going to really hinder more on all of it. 4 out of 10 for me. Fletch, let's just get to our AEW Full Gear preview.
All right. Well, I was about to get into AEW Full Gear, but gentlemen, I just got some breaking news here. And Anthony, you might want to hear this. I think you've already heard about this earlier today, but it needs to be addressed. And this is coming from Impact Wrestling. I can't believe I'm about to do this, but I'm gonna break code here. The hell with it. Ladies and gentlemen, the main event of Hard to Kill, which is going to be Impact Wrestling's first show of the year in January of 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been announced. It's been confirmed. The main event for the Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight title, the champion, Sami Callihan, will put the title on the line against Tessa Blanchard. You heard me right, folks. History is indeed being made. Man versus woman. Tessa Blanchard, the third generation superstar, the daughter of Tully Blanchard, will fight Sami Callihan in St. Louis for the title. Anthony, as the Impact Wrestling guru, like you said, this is a monumental moment for Impact Wrestling. Give me a quick thought.
Monumental moment for Impact Wrestling. And if they do the unthinkable and they actually strap Tessa with the World Heavyweight Championship, she would be only the second woman to win the recognized men's World Heavyweight Championship. The other one, as MF obviously knows, the infamous Sexy Star, as part of Lucha Underground a couple of years ago when she won that. What was the name of that match again? Aztec Warfare?
Aztec Warfare, yes.
Yeah. So there you have it. So I would love to see it. I mean, but at the same time, you just strapped Callihan. But then again, it would be 3 months going into it. So, I mean, you never know. But if I'm going to be honest with you, as much as I love Sami Callihan and the OVE, I mean, as much as I love that gimmick and they are fun to watch, hella fun to watch, I want to see history. I want to see Tessa do it. But that's in January, so we'll have plenty of time to get into that. As when we get closer to match time, we'll definitely, hype it up as best as I can and we can. So go Tessa. Diamonds are forever. Go get it, darling. I want to see you do it. Let's go.
All right. Now let's get into the show. It is Full Gear tomorrow night, as it will be from Baltimore, Maryland, at the Royal Farms Arena. And here is the fight card. We started off with a pre-show fight that has been announced. It will be B. Priestley going one-on-one with Dr. Britt Baker. We won't get into that because it is a pre-show fight, but we will get into this fight. Joey Janela going one-on-one with Shawn Spears. I'm going to give it to Shawn Spears. I mean, as much as I might not care too much for him, I'm going to go with him in this match. I think he's definitely going to win this match. Plus, he also got Tully Blanchard in his corner. I think it'll be a decent match. Nothing to write home about. But I'm going to give the match and the victory to Shawn Spears. So, Anthony, I give it to you.
Yeah, this is tough to call. You remember on one of our Wednesday Night Mayhem shows recently, I went on the record and said that Joey Janela has a bright future and he's going to be a major star someday. And I still feel that way. I really do. But as far as this one goes, Spears attacked Janela backstage. The very next week, Janela chased off both Spears and his manager, Tully Blanchard. The match was then announced just a few days before Full Gear as these two enter a program with one another. Because of the possible teleference, I got to give it to Shawn Spears as well. So really nothing more to say. Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll give it to Shawn Spears as well. I mean, I would have to say because of the Tully Blanchard factor here. I mean, if he wasn't in the corner, I definitely would go with Joey Janela here. But to me, I got to go with Shawn Spears with this one. So nothing more to say. Fletch, let's move on to the next match that we're going to preview on this card.
Well, I'm going to go right in. I'm going to save the title fights for later. We're going to get into something that has been brewing for a little while. Adam Hangman Page versus Pac one-on-one. I kind of got to feel like the Hangman's going to get the win here. He's got to get the win back. Pac has been dominating, no doubt about it, lately, and it looks like they may be grooming him to be the next challenger for the AEW World Title. But Adam Hangman Page needs a victory here. He's been floundering lately, to say the very least. So for me, I got to go with Adam Page to win it here. Anthony, agree? Disagree?
This is tough, man. I mean, here's the thing. It's because of the fact that Pac, alias Neville, I don't think. I mean, from what I am hearing, I believe he hasn't. I think I've heard something along the lines of he hasn't been pinned in a match in like a year or so, or over a year or so. So, no match at Full Gear has been building as long as this one. All the way back in January, AEW held a rally in Jacksonville about the company's launch. Hangman Adam Page was speaking at the rally and found himself interrupted by Pac. The stare down planted the seed. Things have been growing ever since. They were initially scheduled to fight at Double or Nothing, but the match was canceled just a week before the event. Pac was at the time the reigning Open the Dream Gate champion for Dragon Gate at the time. And it's believed both he and Dragon Gate didn't want him to be pinned while on an undefeated streak as their champion. You know what? I could possibly see this. I mean, we can safely assume Page was penciled in to get the win there, as he quickly went on to challenge Chris Jericho to crown the inaugural AEW World Champion. Instead, Adam Page actually flew to London to face Pac at a WrestleGate Pro event, which Page technically won when Pac intentionally low-blowed the referee. Tensions have continued to rise between these two, and they'll be looking to finally settle things tomorrow night. While Pac has been undefeated in singles action so far, I do think this will be the moment that changes. Page could pick up a big win here that would put him on the path to maybe another title opportunity down the road. So, you know what, MF? I'm actually going to agree with you on this. I'm going to go with the Hangman Adam Page to win this, but I would not be surprised if Pac steals another one. So, nothing more to say. Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Hangman Page as well. And like you said, he definitely needs a victory here. I mean, he hasn't been doing well as of late. I mean, nothing against Pac. I mean, it would not surprise me if he does win, but I just think Hangman Page needs this more. So Fletch, let's move on.
All right, and we on to the next fight of the night, as it will be in a tag team match, and this one's gotten pretty personal lately. The Young Bucks, Matt Jackson and Nick Jackson, they go up against the former LAX Santana and Ortiz in a tag team attraction. Anthony Florio, you lead off on this battle.
One of many show stealers here. This has show stealer written all over it. It really does. I mean, I know all about Santana and Ortiz, dating back to their Impact Wrestling days as LAX, as the World Tag Team Champions with Conan by their side. MF, obviously, you know more about the Young Bucks from their New Japan days and ROH and all that. I only know them from the early days of Impact when it was TNA and they were Generation Meat. But we've only seen Santana and Ortiz in tag action one time since arriving in AEW, but they've been on a path of destruction since appearing at All Out. The duo, formerly known as LAX, showed up after the Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers had squared off in a brutal ladder match and attacked both teams. Their first match was alongside Inner Circle leader Chris Jericho on the debut episode of Dynamite. Jericho, Santana, and Ortiz, who we later learned are collectively known along with Jake Hager and Sammy Guevara as the Inner Circle, picked up a big trios victory over the Elite, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega. Santana and Ortiz, now known as Proud and Powerful, when competing as a tag team, later went on to challenge the Young Bucks after they were eliminated from the AEW World Tag Team title tournament, which the Bucks accepted. Their attacks continued, taking out both the Rock and Roll Express and Bucks in ambushes on a recent AEW Dynamite. I'm going with Proud and Powerful to take a huge win here and likely be the next challengers for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. So I'm going with Santana and Ortiz to win this match, but this is going to be at least a 4+ star match. So nothing more to say. Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, I got the Young Bucks winning this one. I think this should be. I mean, this definitely will be a really good match, especially against guys like Santana and Ortiz. So, yeah, there's really nothing more that needs to be said. I got the Young Bucks winning. Fletch, it's yours.
I agree. Young Bucks, no doubt about it. I can't disagree with that call at all. Um, we're just going to move right along to the next fight. And, guys, all right. Are you ready to get to the extreme? Non-sanctioned, lights out match. John Moxley one-on-one with Kenny Omega. Michael Bullock, you lead off on this unbelievable matchup.
All I can say is, Fletch, I think this match is definitely going to be the show stealer. No doubt about it. I mean, you get a match like this where anything goes, and I mean, it's. I mean, the thing is, Fletch. I mean, last thing you need is John Moxley with a weapon, because I mean the guy's a freaking nut job with the way he is. But you give him a weapon, it just makes him even more dangerous. And yeah, I mean, you put him in there with Kenny Omega. I mean, you got the potential for something really special with this. I mean, I could possibly say this has a chance of being 5 stars. I mean, yeah, I just can't wait to see how this goes down. I mean, no doubt about it. This is another tough one. I mean, this to me, it could go either way, but to me, I mean, I'm gonna go with John Moxley here. I mean, I think he needs this more than Kenny Omega. I mean, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if Kenny Omega wins, but for right now, I'm gonna go with John Moxley here, just because I think he has the advantage. I mean, with this kind of a match, the advantage definitely goes to him. But so John Moxley wins, and you know what? If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. So Fletch, it's yours.
Yeah, this is a historic matchup. I'm trying to find if there's any rules to a lights out match. I've never this is absolutely this feels like a first. I never ever have seen a lights out match in my career, in my life. I'm trying to see if there's any gimmicks or any type of rules for the match, and I can't find
Wouldn't
anything.
wouldn't this be? They're saying non-sanctioned. I know they're saying lights out, but when you say non-sanctioned, I mean, doesn't it make you think? Doesn't it make you think back to HBK and Triple H?
It does, but is it one of those where it's like a last man standing, or do you
That's
win the
true.
match by knockout? Like, is it a way where basically the guys just basically lights out means your lights have to be physically put out? Like, you got to be completely unconscious in order for this fight to end. That's what I'm trying to figure out. But if it's that case, I mean, I gotta go with Moxley as well. I'm gonna agree with Michael Bullock here. I'm gonna go with John Moxley to win the match. I think he's sadistic enough. He is gonna do something absolutely ridiculous that's gonna win the match. It's just, what are we gonna get? We'll have to wait and see. So Florio, it's yours.
Well, that's going to be very interesting to know. Um, I came across one of those dirt sheet sites that likes to spread the rumors and whatnot. I came across a very interesting rumor. Now this is a rumor now. Like Derek would always say, take it with a grain of salt. But as I always say, read into this what you will. I heard a rumor saying that they were in talks of making this match the main event of Full Gear. Now, read into that what you will. Honestly, I don't think it should be the main event. There's only one match that can be the main event, and we're going to address it as such on this preview here. Little disclaimer and spoiler here. So, with all that being said, I'm probably looking forward to this match more than any other on the card. And this isn't going to be a wrestling match, folks. This is not going to be a 5-star Flair Steamboat Classic. No, it's going to be a war. We were initially expecting to see Moxley and Omega at All Out, but an MRSA infection in his elbow meant he was not medically cleared to compete, and that was Moxley. On the premiere of Dynamite, Moxley came through the crowd and went right after Omega. The two brawled into a VIP area, and Moxley put Omega through a glass table with a paradigm shift. Since that moment, things have continued to escalate, with Moxley often wielding a barbed wire baseball bat, while the cleaner, Kenny Omega, has had a barbed wire broom. For as anxious as he's been to start the violence, Moxley has also refused more than once to take advantage of a weakened Kenny Omega. Moxley clearly wants to prove himself against the best of Kenny Omega, and he'll finally get that chance tomorrow night. Unfortunately, the match won't be sanctioned, and this won't count for either man's record. It'll still be a treat for fans, though. And while Omega will surely give a 7-star performance, I absolutely expect Moxley to take the win here. So this will steal the dang show. Jon Moxley wins. Nothing more to say. MF, I believe it's title time now.
Yeah, we got the 3 big title matches, and we're going to lead it off with a triple threat for the AEW World Tag Team titles. The champions, SoCal Unlimited, they will put the titles on the line against the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Phoenix, and Private Party. When it's all said and done, I'm going to say it, my prediction, SoCal Unlimited successfully defend the titles. I think they're going to win the match. I don't believe this is the right time to turn the titles to somebody else at the moment. SoCal so deserving of it, winning the tournament, getting the titles. I'm going to go with them to successfully defend it. I know a lot of people think Lucha's going to win it, but I got to go with SoCal. I like Scorpio Sky and Frankie Kazarian to get the job done. So that's my prediction. SoCal Unlimited to successfully defend the World Tag Team titles. Anthony, it is yours.
Yeah. It has to be SCU. The first of our 3 championship matches will see SCU defending in a 3-way match against the Lucha Brothers and Private Party. So SCU garnered the gold medal and the World Tag Team titles by winning the title tournament. Private Party won a bronze medal match against the Dark Order on Dynamite, as both of those teams were eliminated in the semifinals. The winning team, Private Party, now gets an opportunity for the titles at Full Gear. Lucha Brothers, who lost in the finals and are the silver medalists for the tournament, will also be part of the match. This is going to be absolute tag team chaos, and it's a match fans of fast-paced action will surely love. These are 3 of the most dynamic teams in all of professional wrestling today. And putting them all in this match together with the titles on the line is a recipe for an instant classic. I agree with you, MF. I feel like SCU are the favorites and probably most likely to win. But watch out for Private Party, though. That's all I'm going to say. I'll keep a close eye on Private Party. Despite their semifinal loss, they've been an impressive team in every match and have the crowd heavily behind them. And this could be their moment. You never know. But you know, you just put the titles on SCU. I don't think it would make much sense to do a switch. So I'm gonna go with SCU to retain, but don't be surprised if Private Party sneaks in the back door and steals it. They did it once when they beat the Young Bucks. They could easily do it again. So nothing more to say. Bullock, your thoughts?
Yeah, I gotta go with SoCal Unlimited here. I mean, they just won the tag titles. I think it's too soon to take it off of them. I mean, I would love to see the Lucha Brothers become the new tag champs, but like I said, I just think it's too soon for them to drop the belts. So SoCal Unlimited wins and retains the AEW World Tag Team title. So let's move on.
All right, 2 matches left, guys, and we got the AEW Women's World Title. The champion Rio puts the title on the line against Ima Soraka. Anthony Florio, you lead off on this. You've been very high on the AEW Women's World Champion. She's got a very good challenger. We saw how devastating she was this past Wednesday night on AEW Dynamite. Can she go all the way to win the title, or does the cute little sweetheart from Japan continue her reign as AEW Women's World Champion?
And Matt, in the AEW women's division, we've seen nothing but dominance from Riho. It might seem odd if you haven't seen her compete and just glanced at images of the 92-pound champion. But Riho is still undefeated in singles competition. She has taken a few losses in tag team action, the most recent of which was on, as MF said, this past Wednesday's edition of Dynamite. Emi Sakura has been building momentum on AEW Dark and did enough to position herself as the challenger for the AEW women's title at AEW Full Gear. On Dynamite, Riho teamed with Shana, who I've been very high on lately, to take on Sakura and Jamie Hayter. All 4 women had impressive showings, but it was ultimately the Freddie Mercury-inspired Emi Sakura who picked up a huge win by pinning Riho. Now Sakura looks to become the second AEW women's champion. Sakura is so much fun to watch, and her Freddie Mercury gimmick is done so well. Despite being a heel, the crowd still rallies behind her in the clap, clap, stomp of Queen's legendary "We Will Rock You." And, I kind of would like to see Sakura take the win here, but I do think we're going to get another strong title defense from Riho. So for me, winner and still AEW women's champion, the 92-pound adorable cutie, Riho. Nothing more to say. Michael Bullock, what do you say?
Who did you go with?
I went with Riho to retain.
Yeah, I'm going the same way. I'm going with Rio to retain the AEW World Title. So, Fletcher, cheers.
Yeah, and I'm totally agreed with you guys on that. Rio, been dominating, unbelievable what she has done ever since winning the AEW Women's World Title, and it's shocking the world when she won the title, knocking off Nyla Rose in the first AEW show, and now here she is, one of the best in the game, and here we go. So now, guys, we come to the main event of the evening, the AEW World Title on the line. The champion, Chris Jericho. The challenger, the American Nightmare, Cody. If Cody loses, he will never get to challenge for the AEW title again. Michael Bullock, you lead off on the main event of the evening.
Well, what can you say about this? I mean, the rivalry between Chris Jericho and Cody Rhodes has been spot on. I mean, with the back and forth and all the insults and of course that unbelievable promo last night from Cody Rhodes. I mean, my goodness. I mean, the other night, should I say Wednesday night? I mean, my goodness, that was probably one of the best promos I had seen in a long time. I mean, he went as far as to, well, say some things. Well, I'm not going to say on here. I mean, if you go back and look at either on their Facebook page or maybe on YouTube, you'll see that segment. But, this is a tough one to call. I mean, part of me wants to see to see Chris Jericho to retain, but just by the way Cody Rhodes so impassioned in that statement, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go winner and new AEW World Heavyweight Champion Cody Rhodes because I think it's his time. I mean, I want to see him at least hold one world title before his wrestling career is over. But I mean, but somehow I would not be surprised if Chris Jericho somehow finds a way to retain. And you know what? I wouldn't think he'd do it alone. Obviously, his group will probably help him out, but I just think in the end, I just want to see Cody Rhodes win this. That's who I'm going with. And you know what? If I'm the lone wolf in this one, so be it. Fletch, it's yours.
Sentimental pick is Cody Rhodes. No doubt about it. I agree with you on that. However, I disagree with the actual prediction of your match. I believe Chris Jericho is going to successfully defend the title. I think he's going to get a lot of interference from Inner Circle. I think Inner Circle will try to interfere in the match. Not only that, but you also got a wild card in that fight. The wild card that everybody doesn't realize is MJF. I think Maxwell Jacob Friedman will get involved, and I think he's going to go full heel and cost Cody Rhodes the match. I think he's going to screw over Cody, and thus, I think the next rivalry for Cody will be him versus MJF. So with that said, the winner of the bout and still AEW World Heavyweight Champion Chris Jericho. That's my prediction. Anthony Florio, it's yours.
In the main event of the evening, Chris Jericho will defend the AEW World Championship against Cody. This match was confirmed over 2 months ago in a report from Sports Illustrated and made sense considering Cody's impressive singles record at the time. Since the match was made, Cody has also picked up a singles win over Sammy Guevara and a victory on AEW Dark in an 8-man tag team match. However, we've also seen Cody's commitment to this contest. From initial confrontations with Jericho to the volatile contract signing to this week's jaw-dropping promo on AEW Dynamite, it's quite clear what this means to Cody. As for Le Champion, he's still undefeated in AEW in both tag team and singles action. Chris Jericho has yet to take a loss. He's had help such as Jake Hager taking a shot at Darby Allin to ensure he retained the AEW World Championship, but Jericho's record still stands. Chris Jericho and the Inner Circle have been running roughshod over AEW, including calculated attacks on Jericho's enemies. Cody's brother Dustin Rhodes was a casualty of the action last week on Dynamite, thanks to Jake Hager, further infuriating Cody. On top of his announcement, Cody's promo this week directly addressed the fact that he also has a management position. In a shocking announcement, Cody stated that if he loses to Chris Jericho at Full Gear, he will never challenge for the AEW World Championship ever again. The passion was palpable with every word Cody spoke, and the crowd is more behind him than they have ever been. Most things in AEW are over with the crowd, and they tend to give really good reactions. But even for AEW, Cody's reactions are next level. Meanwhile, AEW World Champion Chris Jericho seems more concerned with goofy video packages mocking Cody and how much he cares. It's also important to note that this match technically has a special stipulation. There will be a 60-minute time limit, but AEW will also have a panel of 3 judges at ringside. Should the match go the full 60 minutes, that would then choose a winner to avoid a draw. Like Michael Bullock, as much as I want to see Cody get the win here, I got to go with MF. I still don't think it will happen. It'll probably take interference from Jake Hagar, Sammy Guevara, both, or even someone else like a Maxwell Jacob Friedman. But I think Le Champion is walking out with the gold one way or another. So, winner and still AEW World Heavyweight Champion, Le Champion, Chris Jericho. So, nothing more to say. MF, is there anything else?
No, we're done. That's it. We're gonna leave the other show for it. We're gonna leave the NWA Power for next week. So we just want to get on out of here. So we're done for the night. Anthony Florio, come on in. Give us the heads up for tomorrow. It's NFL Saturday.
NFL Saturday tomorrow night, 10:30 Eastern. Week 10 edition. Game of the week, hands down. We all know it. Monday Night Football, the Seattle Seahawks against the San Francisco 49ers. But we have some other good games. How about the Minnesota Vikings against the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football? That's another great matchup. I mean, some other standout games, Carolina against Green Bay. Our game of the week, MF, although it's not the most flashiest of games, Kansas City against Tennessee. So, we'll have to wait and see. And, some other interesting matchups. We'll go down all of it tomorrow night at 10:30 for the NFL Saturday. And then, of course, the rest of the routine. Ridiculously Raw come Monday night. My reviews on my Tony's take on Impact Wrestling and 205 Live. And Wednesday, we have we're going to review Full Gear, and we're also going to review AEW Dynamite and NXT. So I would hold off on the power reviews until next Friday night, MF. I mean, because the Wednesday show is loaded. So we got to do that. And then Thursday, College Football Thursday, we got a huge lineup of games. We got like 4, maybe 5, or even more exciting games. Headlined by Auburn and Georgia, Oklahoma and Baylor, just to name a couple. The Navy against Notre Dame. I could go on, and then next week, right back here for another Friday Cerebral Smack Talk. We'll do the Smackdown Live, and then MF can get us all caught up on NWA Powers. So there you have it. So until 10:30 tomorrow night for NFL Saturday, MF, let's put a bow on this night.
All right. Well, indeed. And we're going to say thank you very much, everybody, for tonight's show. I hope you guys enjoy it. Like the video, leave a comment at the bottom, share with all your friends on all social media platforms. We'll see you guys tomorrow night for NFL Saturday. Until then, this is Girl MF Michael Fletcher. Have a good night, everybody. And so long for now. And until then, for all of us here, we are